Now let's look at this question, and I think this is one of the easier ones because you don't need a lot of thinking here. It's quite straightforward. So it says the sum of 4 distinct prime numbers is 240. If none of the 4 primes is greater than 70, then what is the smallest of the 4 numbers? So we have 4 prime numbers which add up to 240. There x4 equals to 4 240, where x1, x2, x3 and x4 are primes, are prime numbers. Okay, and we are also given that x1, x2, x3 and x4 are all smaller than 70. So all these prime numbers have to be less than 70. So we have to figure out the smallest of the 4 numbers. Suppose let's assume x4 to be the smallest of these 4 numbers. Now a general strategy, a general approach for such kind of problems is that if you want to minimize the one term, we have to try to maximize the other 4 terms. Since we are told that all these prime numbers are less than 70, so for the first 3 we have to find out the 3 biggest primes closest to 70. So if you look at 70, the first number after 70 is 69, but 69 is not a prime. 68 is also not a prime. 67, yes, this is a prime. Okay, so we'll use this as x1. Then we have 65, that's not a prime. 64 is not a prime. 63 is not a prime. 62 is not a prime. Then we have 61. Maybe I should have started it a bit down, but okay. We have 61. 61 is a prime because it's not multiplied by 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. No, I don't think so. Yes, I think 61 is a prime. Okay, so we found x2. Then we get to 60. Not a prime. 59, yes, it's a prime. Okay, so we found out the 3 numbers, 3 primes. So if we add up these 3 primes, 61, 67 and 59, what do we get? 10, 17, 6, 6, 6, 187. So we need 240. So what's remaining? 240 minus 187. It's 3. What is this? 5? Yeah. 53. So 53 has to be a prime because that's the number we need. We already picked the 3 largest prime less than 70 and we need the 4th. So if we subtract the sum of these 3 with the total value 240, whatever remains has to be the answer, 53. And yeah, that's the answer, 53. But also let me check what are the other primes here. 58 is not a prime. 57, I think, no, 57 is also not a prime. It's divisible by 3. 56 not a prime. 55 not a prime. 54 not a prime. 53 is a prime. Okay, it's a prime. 53 is a prime, but at the same time it wasn't a lot of it didn't require a lot of intellectual trickery. It was quite simple. It's just the sum of the 4 largest primes less than 70. But anyways, that's the answer, 53. That's our answer.